Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we are the NOLA Nerds here for another installment of our Best Of. This is the June edition.
Yes.
Where we, once again, instead of just waiting until December to tell you about our top 10, we are going to show you the month-by-month breakdown of how that list evolves based on the games we play.
The organic top 10.
Yep.
Trademarked.
As it grows and lives and breathes.
Yes.
This marks the... Since we didn't start this idea until April, so 3 months went by. So this is the first month where cuts have been made for me.
Oh, yeah.
You have not yet hit 10.
No.
Because,
I probably won't till the end of the year.
Probably, because, yeah, I don't think there's much for you till September.
Nah, I'm a slow gamer now.
Everyone that knows you knows that is true.
I know.
Anyway, but this is the first month that I have made cuts, so we were finally going to see how a list changes.
The organicness.
So, again, we do these in the middle of the month, so games that release at the end of the month do not count, and they will be counted to next time. Blah, 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 blah. That's enough. Let's jump right in.
Let's.
We're the NOLA Nerds. Check us out. NOLAnerdcast.com.
Twitter, Facebook,
NOLAnerdcast.
Instagram. NOLAnerdcast.
Hashtag NOLAnerdcast. Or if you're on iTunes, NOLAnerd Podcast. Because I had someone say they tried to find us on iTunes and they couldn't because they kept trying to type in NOLAnerdcast. Well, maybe someone
I did change
says that.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I did. Shut up.
Anyway, so let's recap previous list for your viewing pleasure in case you haven't been following month to month. So let's do it.
In the past.
Matthew's list. Hey, Chris, why don't you go first?
My list. Bravely Default, which will probably make the top 10, but it will probably drop further down on the list. Infamous, which I think is roughly around the spot it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Titanfall may drop down a little bit more, probably below Bravely Default at this point. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes probably jumps up a little bit. Strider stays about the same where it is.
Hashtag Strider.
Banished probably drops way low and may just be bumped off the list in general.
Eventually.
MLB.
The show. MLB hashtag.
Not everything gets a
hashtag show.
You're ruining hashtags. Stop that. Stop that. MLB.
Hashtag stop that. Hashtag Bobby Tic Tacs. Hashtag where's my kazoozles? Chris won't buy me candy. I just want to throw that out there. It has nothing to do with our show we're doing right now. I texted him very nicely and said, Chris, buy me Tic Tacs. And he said, go fuck yourself. That's the kind of shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. All I wanted was a Tic Tac, Chris.
All I'm going to point out, and then I'm going to go back to the video we're working on.
Is it that I'm an adult? And
you are a grown-ass adult with a job and a car, and the grocery, literally, right down the street. Literally.
I'm just saying things taste better when they're given to you by a friend.
You know what makes things taste better? By the fruit of your own labors.
That's a very interesting perspective. I'm going to go with mine, where you buy me things.
Well, you're going to keep waiting.
All right. What's the last? All right.
MLB the show will probably drop off. Also.
Yeah. All right.
It's just the nature of the beast.
So my list before the new games in. So Chris had 7.
Yeah.
I had 10 last month, which means when I add my 2 new games, I'll be cutting 2 out. But
basic math.
The previous list was Bravely Default.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before. Damn good RPG, even if it definitely suffers in the last half.
Yes.
You done scratching yourself there, princess?
No, I have itches.
Stop it. Give me your hands.
No.
Yes.
No.
You spend the whole video like...
No.
If you buy me Tic Tacs, I'll let you scratch.
Too bad.
All right.
You don't control my life.
Infamous Second Son. Titanfall. South Park Stick of Truth, which I definitely see lasting on my list. That so good.
Mm-hmm.
Strider, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Luftrausers, Kirby Triple Deluxe, which still kills me.
Stands for 3D.
Yeah, I never got that. Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and it'll be interesting to see how the sequel fares for me since they're both coming out this year. One in February, one in September.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Child of Light. So, let's just jump right in, Chris. There are only 2 games added this month. 2 for me, 1 for you, but one of them is the same for both of us.
Yes.
So I will discuss my first one, And bumping Luftrausers off the list and coming in for June 2014, Transistor by Supergiant Games, the makers of Bastion, on the PlayStation 4. A beautiful graphical aesthetic, visual aesthetic, a phenomenal soundtrack. I mean, I'm talking, it's so good. I actually physically went out of my way to their homepage, their website, and ordered a copy of the soundtrack. And I could have gone on iTunes, but I wanted that extra step and have a physical copy because why not? Gameplay, I mean, our friend Steven put it best when he said it looks like Reboot had a baby with a Portal and Final Fantasy VII.
That's not wrong.
That's just how the aesthetic works. The gameplay is has a deep customizable combat system. You wouldn't think so. You have 16 abilities, and each of those abilities can be set as an active ability, or can be a passive ability, or an upgrade to another ability. And so there's so many different combinations you can equip, and each of them has a memory setting. And you have so much memory slots, and so you have to pick and choose and build your loadout. And so there's tons of customizable options. The story is minimalistic and kind of haunting in a way. And when you beat it, you're like, oh, you just have that moment where you sit back a bit and let it all soak in. It's got a great New Game Plus mode. There's a lot of replayability. Definitely worth your time. It's easily one of the best indie games that's come out this year, and I'm very confident right now in saying it'll probably make my top 10 list overall. I'll be very surprised if it drops down. I loved it. I loved it so much I replayed it immediately and got my platinum trophy. Like, I just kept playing until I got it. So that is on the list now. I'm sorry, Luftrausers. You were also a fun indie game, but it's time.
It happens to the best of them.
So, adding in at your number 8, and for me, replacing Strider, we have what game, Chris?
We have Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs!
Watch Dogs.
Which is the victim of overhype in the sense that it just had too much hype and nothing was going to live up to it.
It had its overhype it had one of the most striking falls I've seen in a long time. And
I would say undeserved falls.
Well,
but that's neither here nor there.
That's a whole other topic. I mean, we're talking coming out of E3 2 years ago. It's being touted as the next gen game.
It was,
and then it got delayed, and everyone's like, "Well, whatever.
Yeah,
it sucks." But it was understandable, and then it came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, it doesn't look that good." It looked way better 2 years ago.
And it was compounded by the fact that they just found the original graphics in the PC version, so they could have done it. And it was pretty much guaranteed that because it was pretty much shown that because it was forced to be a cross-generation game, it suffered a bit. And you know what? That's fine, because now we know what Watch Dogs 2 can and will look like.
Yep.
So
I think there are some flaws with the game. It's not a perfect game.
No.
But I think it's a very enjoyable game.
It's hard not to draw comparisons to Assassin's Creed because we know this will become a new franchise,
and a little bit like Grand Theft Auto. I think it has very strong comparisons to Grand Theft Auto.
Well, any open world game,
yes.
But you also have comparisons to Assassin's Creed because it's Ubisoft. And when I say compared to Assassin's Creed, I mean it'll probably follow the same trajectory. Where look at the jump in quality from Assassin's Creed 2 to 1, or 1 to 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I firmly believe that Watch Dogs 2, when it comes out, will be a market improvement.
I'm sure
I platinumed this game as well. I cracked out on it. I could not stop playing it. I really loved it. While I was listening to everyone bash it, I'm just sitting there like, whatever. I'm having a damn good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun in there if you can take the time to
open it up,
fiddle around with.
That's the problem. You have to get to the point where you get enough upgrades to unlock all the things you can start hacking.
Yes. The
more options you have to hack, the more fun it is.
Yes. I mean, the driving's a little wonky, I think. Some of the collectible missions are needlessly difficult.
Which ones?
The ones where it splits into 4.
Oh, the CTOS?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I think they're a little.
Some of them get super difficult.
I think they're a little more.
The difficulty range is wildly skewed.
Yeah.
Some are just like, oh, that's a joke. And then others are like, what is going on?
I mean, and also, it's less hacking and more of a superpower at this point, like a technopathy.
Yeah.
So I don't think they understand how hacking works.
Well,
but
I don't think real life hacking is supremely boring.
It's super boring. But I mean, those are quibbles. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, underneath it all, it's a really fun, open world, third person shooter that does a fairly good job of mimicking its city.
Yeah.
And
Chicago. Chicago.
I think it has a lot of good in it, but it does definitely have some issues. I think.
Yeah. I mean,
what doesn't nowadays?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they address those issues. And
yes.
Like if they can sit down and say, we see the problems, now we're going to fix it.
Right.
One thing I hope they expand on is the digital trips and the AR games.
I have not.
Because even though they do nothing for the story and they're purely there for fun, they're so varied and enjoyable that it's the kind of stuff I like, where they put stuff in for no sake other than to just have something fun and diversion-y to do. Because Robot Spider Tank is a blast. It's ridiculous, and I have no other words than it's a robot spider tank, and you go around destroying everything around you.
Yeah,
it's fun, and I like kind of stuff like that because you get to go out of the realm of possibility, and by calling it a digital trip, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the game and get away with it.
Yeah,
like the AR games where you're fighting alien invasions and stuff. Like, you can get ridiculous and just call it a virtual reality game or a digital trip, and it doesn't break the immersion of the world.
Yeah.
So, Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
Say it.
Watch Dogs. Hashtag Watch Dogs.
Yeah, you're so reluctant. Hashtag Watch Dogs.
It's a good game. I think it's definitely worth your money.
Yeah. So that is it. Not too much happening this month. One game added to Chris and me, and two replacements for me.
It looks like it's going to be pretty dry till September.
Yeah, you might see the list not changing much in the next couple months because we are officially entering the dry spell.
But
several high-profile indie games are coming out over the next couple weeks. But again, your mileage may vary given on how much you want to give chances to indie games. I'm surprised at just how many people are like, it's not a AAA blockbuster. I don't care. It's not a real game. And then I get sad because that is literally.
If you follow the Worst NeoGaf post, Twitter, they posted one. It's like, I'm not playing some college kid's art project. I'm like, that's not even close to being right.
Yeah,
guy.
Like, oh, you know what? Every video game company started out as an indie company.
Yeah, every single one.
I don't know. It bothers me I don't know why that people would just dismiss so many great games because they are considered an indie game. And
that's a rant for another day.
It is. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. Again, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And Chris buys me Tic Tacs. Everyone should like and comment on this. Specifically, I mean, you could talk about whether you agree or disagree with our list or ask us questions like, why is Mario Kart 8 not on your list? Well, the answer is I haven't given it enough time to really get a feel for it.
I still haven't played it.
You should. I mean, that's the problem, is that Mario Kart is a game I view as a party game.
Yeah. And
you need people over for that. So Mario Kart 8 will probably eventually be on the list. But then we know other games that people are talking about, like Wolfenstein. I mean, our rule is if we haven't played it enough to give it a go, then we don't feel comfortable. Because this is our list, not the top 10 critically acclaimed games. Because otherwise, games like Mario Kart would totally be on it.
Spoiler alert, Wolfenstein may make the list before the summer's out.
Dude, I hear nothing but good things.
I know.
I'm super especially since you have nothing else to play.
I know. But, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm excited to finally try Wolfenstein. Everything I've seen for it and everyone who plays it says it's fun. And that's what matters.
We'll find out.
But, so, comment. Tell us if you agree or disagree what we're missing out on. But mostly, comment on why Chris won't buy me Tic Tacs.
Tweet us at NOLAnerdcast if you want me to buy Matt Tic Tacs.
Yes.
I'm not guaranteeing that I will.
But if people
I'm curious how many people actually give a shit about Matt getting Tic Tacs. If the answer is 0, like I expect, then I don't feel very justified saying no all the time.
Last time we made a video and Chris disagreed with me, I was very happy to prove him wrong.
Do it.
Hashtag Chris buys Tic Tacs.
No. Hashtag no.
All right. I think the motto of today's episode is going to be too many hashtags.
Way too many hashtags.
Hashtag overload.
Oh my god.
Hashtag overload.
Hashtag my head hurts.
All right. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we're the NOLAnerds, and this has been the June installment of our ongoing organic top 10. Nice phrase.
Thanks.
I like that. All right. Peace out.
Pop, pop.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw!